Hey guys, how's it going? So there's been a lot of social media chatter in regards to Injustice, and I wanted to put forward my opinion on the game. I feel like we've got a very back and forth debate at the moment with people going, my character's okay because X character exists, or you can just use this character to shut it down. This isn't healthy from a competitive standpoint or a spectator one. I believe there needs to be a neutering on a lot of the characters. And I think that the neutering also means other characters need to be neutered because they're neutered. And bear with me, it's not a simple fix. You're in a game, like, for the first of all, I'm just going to talk about the grapple vortex. It's like something from Marvel. It has to go. It jails on block into a -2 launcher that launches meterlessly into a forward 3 back into the same situation. And it lands on the same side both times, so you can't tell. It's just a complete guess. It's madness. It might have been okay in MK9 and Injustice 1 when, you know, people had +2 slides and stuff like that. But in a game like this, where there's a lot of characters in it, you know, a good 50% of the character pool that are unsafe on their mix-up options, like Sub-Zero, you know, he's unsafe on slide if he wants to slide. He's unsafe. You can't be safe. You can't jail into continuous pressure. You can't. It's got to go. And the reason that it's a very easy fix as well. You just nerf the plus frames on jump 2, so that the character isn't jailed into it. It's as simple as that. The other thing that I wanted to touch on was the flash. I think the flash is, and the flash gives you an overall idea of what my point is to try to get across today. The flash is complete bullshit. The character's playing MKX. It's silly that this character exists in a game like this. I can't believe that. Well, I can believe it, and I'll tell you why I believe it. If the zoning, if this wasn't Call of Duty, this game, like, dominated by these zoning heavy neutral characters, Flash would be everywhere. Bearing in mind I said his Flash got second at Evo. Flash player managed to get second at Evo, so, you know, can't be that bad. But the character's dominated by these neutral beasts that don't let him start his stuff. But if you're not playing a character like that, and your character can't handle his neutral, or he could just get in, you know, at certain points, you're in for a bad time. It's not humanly possible to react to his stuff or even punish half of it. It's just to register what he's just done, because he's got so many different options off of it. You can't, like, there's no risk for him. He just does stuff into stuff, and half the time he gets away with murder. It's crazy. So you know, you end up just, he gets on you, you try and block his mix if he's gone for the overhead or low mix, and then you just push block him. Because you don't want to have to deal with it, because it's not humanly possible to deal with it. And the sheer fact that this character isn't #1 in the game is testament to how completely silly Supergirl, possibly like Green Arrow, Dr. Fate, Red Hood, Superman and DEADSHOT are at zoning and keeping him away. Catwoman as well, she zones. Catwoman, you might not know this, but she does zone. She zones pretty effectively because you can't get near her because her normals outrange yours, especially as the Flash, and her jump 2 just dictates everything. So, you know, it's no wonder that Flash struggles. Obviously Aquaman as well. You know, it's not going to be the easiest thing for the Flash. So Flash, the only reason why Flash isn't top in the game at the moment is because of these characters, but from my perspective, these characters may be killing the spectatorship of this game. And I want you to hear me out on this one, and I want to know what you guys think, but it's not hype to watch Supergirl. She dominates the neutral, her back one's oppressive, her jump normals are oppressive, her air dash goes way too far, her traits just, like, it's so good. Whether she uses the meter burn version or not, it doesn't cost a barometer, but, you know, that's the input for it. She's too good, she's too safe, she's boring to watch, she's not hype at all. She's a hit and a prayer on everything. Just do something into breath and hope that it's hit the opponent. If it doesn't hit them, well, I'm practically neutral on block because that's the way breath works. It's not hype to watch. She doesn't have to take risks, really. I mean, you could argue every time she's down one breath that's a risk, but you know, I don't know, like not everybody's, you're not reacting to down one breath every single time unless you're already expecting it, and she doesn't have to do down one breath. She doesn't have to. She can do down one. She can do, you know, down one, then pause, shimmy, back one. You know, so many different options. Not really fun to watch. And her neutral's too good. Too fast on her back walk speed, her air mobility's too good. Shuts down characters like Poison Ivy like nobody's business. Just not for me, I'm afraid, especially as a spectator. And it's also infuriating to play against as well, because you just feel like you've got no options. Green Arrow, I'm not going to go too much onto Green Arrow, but it's more of the same really. Although he's quite flashy to watch, so I don't think spectators will hate to watch him, because he is quite cool to watch. Pretty frustrating to play against, and just pretty obnoxious, just a bit like Katana really in MKX. Just throw loads of stuff out, hope it hits the opponent. Oh, it didn't, keep doing it, you know. I'm not too sure on this one. I think we need more time with Green Arrow. Some people say he's top 5, some people don't. I think it's debatable. Dr. Fate is he needs changing. As much as Dr. Fate players hate DEADSHOT players, there are plenty more characters that hate Dr. Fate just as much. This character's just silly. He really is just silly. And I'm not saying he's like, you know... And this comes from... I mean, I play a character that deals with Dr. Fate, but if I swap onto everything else, I just want to pull my own eyes out. It's just not fun. It's not fun to play against. I've played a little bit. He's not fun to play. The Yank stuff's pretty cool, but in general, it's just like orb, meter burn the orb, stand around it, you know, forward 3 every now and then, and you know, obviously the Yank pressure is cool. I think there needs to be a balance. Is what I'm trying to say, is there needs to be a balance. Maybe orbs made it higher, something like that, so he doesn't get the pressure from it. I'm not too sure, but there's something needs to change. But don't ever change the Yank stuff. The Yank stuff's amazing. The top players that use the Yank and use it effectively, it's brilliant, and it's what the game needs. Red Hood, just too easy to just, you know, do the lunge and meter burn it. It hits great. Static pressure it doesn't hit, and let's back off a bit. Mine doesn't go away on hit, so what are you afraid of? Just go in, you know. Again, just not hyped to watch, I don't think. I thought he was super cool when he came out, but then when you break it down, he's just not. He's really not at all. Does a lot of chip as well. I mean, yeah, people need to start push blocking him more, I do know that. But other than that, just not fun. Superman, it's the same thing as Supergirl. Just like Flash and Batman players will go, well, he's not that good, you know. Harley does a similar thing, but Harley at least has to, you know, work a bit more for a damage. Superman just jumps back. Oh, I'm losing a little bit. Let's jump back and throw out some lasers. Pop me trait. Do stupid damage. You know, you can't really tell if it's going to be a straight laser or not. Very easy to deal with. Not unbeatable by any regards. I don't think he's better than Supergirl, although it's not too far off. Like some of the best normals in the game. Excellent reset pressure. You know, just a good character overall. I don't expect Superman to be nerfed. What I'd like to see is just his zoning damage nerfed. I don't want anything else to be nerfed other than just how much chip and how much damage it just his projectiles do. It's just way too much. Way too much. Like, to do over 200 damage on just a meter burn laser from full screen with trait up, to me, it just seems a little bit too much. You know, I don't even need to talk about DEADSHOT. Everybody knows DEADSHOT by now. There's only a couple of players that can actually pull it off, because he does take a reasonable amount of footsies. I'm only hyped to watch him because, you know, it's a friend of mine that actually plays him. But if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it is boring to watch. It needs to be changed. He shuts out too many of the casts like these other characters I've talked about do. All these characters' neutrals need to be toned down. These sort of aggressive characters that like want to actually play a fighting game, you know, a beat 'em up game, they need to be able to get in more frequently, more often, and these characters need to be forced onto defense more, and not just, oh, you've got in, here's push block, you know, see you next week. I don't know what can be done. I really like push block as a mechanic, actually. I wouldn't change it, but I'd change the meter build on these zoners. I'd change how freely they can move by neutral. I definitely wouldn't give them a safe meter burn wake up. You know, it's so hard to get in on them that once you like do an errant hit and knock them down, having to deal with a safe on block wake up as well, you know, it just doesn't fly with me. And I think, I mean, I talk about this from your play, but I think of it from a spectator point of view as well. It's just not hype, you know. So this is my overall of what needs to be done in a balance patch. I don't believe in this whole utility character thing, because it would only fly if the utility, if like the mainstay characters weren't Call of Duty characters just zoning people to death or doing obnoxious full screen normals into safe pressure. You know, that whatever, you know, if it wasn't that, if it was the case that the characters were hype and everybody was playing the Flash, you know, and it was all that sort of, you know, heavy mix-up mind game, it was quite hyped to watch, it'd be better. But there also needs to be a limit on that. You know, if Flash, if these characters were nerfed, would also need to be nerfed. Flash players need to accept the fact that if all these characters' neutrals were toned down, then the Flash would need looking at. You know, Batman can't have his grapple. It's as simple as that. And that's my thoughts and feelings on it all. Either they change their thing of bringing the top down, or they bring the bottom up. It's up to them. But ultimately, the top at the moment are stale, one-dimensional. I can tell you what they're going to do before they even do it. They automatically win in footsies, and they just control the game that much. That's just how it is at the moment, and it needs to change. In my opinion, needs to change. If you tone down their neutral game too much and all these like Scarecrow and Robins and stuff have their way, you know, new to them as well. Whatever. Do whatever needs to be done, but something needs to be done. I'm going to use Atrocitus as the best case in point. This character was nerfed, and before he nerfed, every single Atrocitus player was saying he was fine, he might be top tier, but it's not too bad. Fair enough, probably a decent complaint to make. There is a lot of bullshit in this game. But have a look at the character now after the nerfs that he received. He's actually one of the best characters to watch. He's not one-dimensional anymore. It's not just forward 2-2 into mix. They're using different pressure chains, different things, getting around differently. It's actually really enjoyable to watch a high-level Atrocitus play. And playing against him now, I feel like it's so much more balanced than it was. He's punishable if he goes for his mix and you guess right. Like, it's all the ingredients of, in what my opinion, make a good character in this game, and something that can compete, that's not oppressive. But once again, why would you play Atrocitus when Catwoman can go through your shields and just completely bully you all game? Like, why would you play these characters when you can play Superman, who can just, you know, full screen laser you to death, or then when he's in, he's still super good. Like Red Hood with his multiple damage stuff. Like, there's a very clear sort of top 5 to 7 at the moment, and a very, very clear top 3. And, you know, I think the top 3 in this game, this is my personal opinion, the top 3 in this game at the moment is Batman, Supergirl, and Deadshot. Deadshot's slightly interchangeable, but Batman and Supergirl are 1 and 2. Without a shadow of a doubt, in my eyes. Whether Supergirl's number 1 and Batman's 2, or, you know, the vice versa, I don't know for sure. But ultimately, with their tools and toolkit and like their control, just 3 the best 2. And I'd like to see it change. Raiden was brought out recently. I don't know if you've played Raiden, but he's actually people say he's bad, but he's just fair. He actually has to think about neutral. He has to think about you know, what he's gonna do and the tools he's using, and he can't just throw stuff out. He's down forward 2's punishable, which is his like grab hand. Like, he's punishable. He doesn't have brain dead mix, brain dead pressure, and then people are like, oh, he sucks, and he does suck. He sucks in a game that these characters exist, where their pressure's not punishable even when it launches. He sucks in a game where the zoning's obnoxious. But I think that this character is where the game needs to be honest. I think that he does have some pretty good mix with his teleport stuff when he gets it going. But I think he's exactly where the game should be at, and what the character's power levels should be. Same with Atrocitus. I don't think you should have free mix. I think that everything should be a risk, and I think the neutral shouldn't be a given for a cat. Oh, I'm just going to get bullied out here. It shouldn't be like that. I don't think Black Adam should be as plus as he is, with so much chip and options and all that lot, and a safe dive kick, or plus on black dive kick, should I say. It's, you know what I'm getting at. I don't need to talk anymore. Thanks for watching if you stayed this long. Hope I've not bored you all to death, but I'll be making some more videos. Going to bring out some gameplay as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.